Hey everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Medusa's doing something because it's like super humid outside, but today we're talking about my project pan. So my project pan was something that I started in January, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about the progress that I've made on my project pan, what happened to my project pan. So let's get into this video. In January, I curated like a whole bunch of products for my project pan, and I guess that is where I want to start, is what happened to my project pan. Like, where is everything at with my project pan? And initially, I started my project pan with the goal in mind to do monthly check-ins with y'all, and life got away from me and I was not able to do monthly check-ins. This is actually like the first check-in of my project pan, and I do have to say that some of the items in my project pan are actually gone for various reasons. So let's talk about the progress of this. Starting with primer, I had two primers that were in my project pan. The first one was the Secure Skin Gripping Primer from LYS, and this was actually completely full when I first started this project pan, and it's actually down to here now. So I have made quite a bit of progress. I've also been using other primers as I see fit for my makeup routine. Sometimes I don't even use a primer. Sometimes I use like a moisturizer. So overall, this is almost done. It's literally to here. You can, like, I can see a line. It's like right here. So it's very, very close to being done, almost being finished up. So far, I have loved using this primer. I love that it has hyaluronic acid built in. It's a very like jelly, serum-y primer, and then it also grips my face really well. And I have enjoyed using it, and I'm hoping sooner rather than later, I will be able to finish this up. It is very liquidy, but it also has a very great like gripping power. Now I also had another primer in there, which was the Becca Backlight priming filter, and that I never officially marked the progress on this because I was very apprehensive, and I'm thinking maybe I should never have really included this in my project pan because this is such an older product. At the time, it did not smell. It did not have like a odor to it. And now it kind of has that like formaldehyde smell to it. So when it started getting that smell to it, I was like, I got to be done with it. I did keep it for a little bit just for giggles because I was planning and planning and planning a project pan, and I was like, I can't use this on my face anymore. It is almost done. As you can see, like, it has quite a bit of product that has been used in it, and I feel very comfortable with like throwing this away only because I used so much of it. I wish that they brought back this primer. Obviously they won't because Becca is no longer a brand. Overall, it started like separating in the package. I would shake it and then it started getting this like formaldehyde, like putrid smell. So I stopped using it really relatively soon. I loved the quality that it gave my makeup. It gave it a little bit of a glow underneath my makeup, and sometimes I would just wear this with like a concealer and I would be good for the day. But I'm definitely ready to dump this in the garbage. It is ready to go. It smells horrible. I'm glad I did not put it on my face after it started smelling horrible. And then I was also using and had in my pan this foundation. I ended up putting a dropper on it because it's very hard to use the paddle. And again, this is one that I have not used in a while because it kind of smells putrid and old. And that's when I stopped using it. And I was like, we can't project pan this anymore. This is one of my favorite foundations. It is the Photofocus foundation from Wet n Wild. And it is like literally a $5 or $6 foundation. I think with inflation, it's gone up just a little bit to like $6 or $6.50, or depends on where you buy it. It is the dewy finish one. It provides a really beautiful natural medium coverage. You can see a little bit of your blemishes through it, but like, this is the foundation that I recommend to anybody who's getting married because it's just such a beautiful, like, it photographs so beautifully. It's such a great foundation. But again, it started smelling and I was like, we can't use this anymore. So this is also going in the garbage. But if you're looking for a good, like, skin-like looking foundation that also provides a medium coverage and also photographs really well and is really inexpensive, this is a great foundation. Now for concealer, I had two concealers that I put in my project pan. One of them was the Age Perfect from L'Oreal. It's the Radiant Concealer. This is honestly almost gone. It's like right down in here when the product actually starts like settling down. And I wish I would have marked these off, but this is just one that I use on occasion for those no makeup days. I find I am typically using it more when I just want to conceal a couple blemishes, then I put like a finishing powder on and I'm good to go. And I really don't feel like I've made a lot of progress with this, more so in the summer than I did like in the winter months, because this is just one of those concealers that is, it acts more like a foundation, but it's in like concealer formula and it's very like skin-like, but depending on how you set it down, sometimes it can like crease really bad. I did use it today to like cover up some blemishes because it really just matches my skin tone perfectly, but this is definitely a concealer I use more as like no makeup days. And then we have the Shape Tape from Tarte. This is in the shade Fair, and this is about down to the middle of the container. You can see I've used quite a bit of it. The only problem that I've been finding with panning this is that it is very drying on my under eyes, especially during the winter months. I actually haven't reached for this since the winter months, and I actually just put it back into more of a place where I'm going to be able to find it and use it better. It was sitting in a drawer that I had all my project pan stuff in, and obviously I haven't really reached for this as much lately. I feel like it's just a little bit too drying on my under eyes in the wintertime. In the summertime, it's a little bit better. I did use it today and it creased just a little bit, but I've just been using very like sparingly. Now I also had in my project pan, it was a like lightweight concealer stick from e.l.f. This is like discontinued. You can't purchase this anymore. And that's why I put it into my project pan, because I use this as a contour stick. And what's ironic is that I've been actually looking for a contour stick lately, and then I watched my project pan and I was like, this is my contour stick. Like, why haven't I been using it more? And while I love this, it is in dark deep. It creates a really nice contour. Like, I used it today. I have just found, like, again, this got buried in the back of my drawer. I have not used a lot of it, but I think that if I really put my mind, or not, because it's so warm in here and it just fell out of the packaging. You can stay like that. Okay, we're good. We saved it. We saved it, even though I got makeup all over myself. This is why I have baby wipes in my room. I've just found that this is very like limiting, and sometimes it doesn't blend as easily as what I would like it to blend. It depends on what I have like underneath, and today I did use it. It did blend pretty well, but it took me a little bit to get it to blend. And this is one of those concealers that I bought for like $1 when it was on sale from e.l.f. So I'm gonna give it like another month. We're gonna try doing an update in like a month, and I'm gonna see if I'm still using it, if I'm reaching for it the way that I should be reaching for it, and if not, I'm just gonna pitch it. I also had in there the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and this is the Matte and Poreless powder in 110 Porcelain. This is my favorite powder, and I love using it either with a brush or with like a little blendiful. I just dab it on, and actually one of my favorite ways to use it right now is to finish my makeup look and then I set my under eyes again after I've already set them, and it really just cleans up that makeup line I've found. That's basically what I like using it for right now because it's been so hot. It's been in the 90s. And then I also use this sometimes with obviously like a concealer, and I just like powder my entire face with it. But this is like one of my favorites. I'm hoping that by the end of 2023, this is gone. There is so much that is gone out of this. There isn't a lot left, if you can see here, but it's definitely been used. It's been loved. It is such a great powder. Then I also had in my project pan this bronzer right here. It is the L'Oreal Infallible bronzer in the shade 250, which is light. And while I love this bronzer, I found lately I haven't really been reaching for a powder bronzer as much. I've been reaching more for a like liquid bronzer or a cream bronzer just because it's so warm outside. Like sometimes I feel like putting powders on my face, they kind of like melt off. And that's one thing that I have found with like powder in general right now. I did use it quite a bit in like the spring months. It doesn't texturize or anything. It's just, this is this is the progress that's been made. I haven't really reached for it a lot because I have been more into that cream bronzer, and I've been doing a lot of like testing new makeup or even just digging into my drawers and seeing like what was popular once. I have some videos on that. And then I also had in there my Wander Beauty Trip for Two. This is a blush and bronzer duo. I've made probably very minimal progress on this at all because I actually started again using a lot of cream contouring products. I fell in love with the Bare Minerals bronzer. So this hasn't really been used a lot. I did use it today and I forgot like how much I love this because it is like very like airbrushed and like satin. It is not matte at all. And I'm like, this would be such pretty like summer makeup. Why am I not using this more? For highlight, I had chosen the Shimmer highlighting powder from e.l.f. This is a discontinued powder, and I've actually been using this quite a bit. However, I have found that with filming, it's been really hard to use because like if I mention it, I can't link it, and it's like, well, what highlight are you wearing? Well, it's discontinued. So I've been trying to use this more like on my everyday basis, but this has seen quite a bit of wear with it. You can see I've got more of a divot in it. I accidentally like stuck my finger in it one day, so that's where that little divot came from, but I have used this quite a bit. I've noticed that it started getting kind of like texturized a little like in the pan, but when it goes on the face, it's really pretty. I did not put this one on today only because I couldn't find it and I was like, oh, maybe it's in my other drawer. And it is, it's in my other drawer. So there's a little divot in it. I'm not really seeing the rings of a pan yet, but let's just put this on. I've actually been finding lately I'm not using a lot of highlight, and when I do use highlight, it's not a lot. It's very like airbrushed, but I have been working on this one as well. Some things that I have learned from project panning, I have realized that like my first initial round of project pan products, there was just too many. There's way too many. So now that we've reviewed a lot of the ones that I still had that I can remember, I am actually going to be curating my project pan down even further, and I'm actually going to be eliminating some things right now because I've just found that like having 2 concealers and having 2 bronzers and having like 5 blushes, that's just not attainable for me. Like focusing on 1 blush, 1 bronzer, 1 like maybe even not putting in a highlight for now and just like taking that out, I feel like that's a little bit more doable for me right now. My project pan kind of got away from me because I was like very overwhelmed by all of the things that I put into my project pan. Let's just put it to you this way. I put so many things in my project pan that I forgot what was in my project pan because there were so many things that I had put in my project pan. And I feel like that's really where I set myself up for failure with my project pan for this year. And so I'm going to be, like I said, I'm recurating my project pan. We're going to take out some things. We are not going to use them right now. We are going to eliminate some things that I'm finding I'm not using a lot right now because of the way the weather is. And then we will refocus, readjust, see how I do, and hopefully do a check-in, not 7 months away, not 6 months away from, you know, this check-in. My goal is to do a project pan update for you within a month, see where I'm at, see what is going on with these products, and if we're needing to switch something up because it's getting old, then we can do that. But I want to see how these products are performing over the month and see if like I can pan these. In the project pan, we are going to be keeping the L'Oreal Radiant Concealer. I feel like because of the way that I use this, because of the way that the weather has been lately, pairing this with something basically, what I didn't really realize is I've been using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer a lot, which was one that I purchased not too terribly long ago. I've been using that a lot to just conceal my under eyes, and then I use my Bare Minerals Mineral Veil or Original Foundation with the Tarte CC cream, and then I'm just go on my way. That's literally been my makeup lately. So I'm thinking if I just replace the Fit Me with this, we can get this used up pretty fast. Now, for now, I am actually going to be taking out all of my Tarte Shape Tapes. I'm just like, I love Tarte Shape Tape, but like I said, it's just too drying on my under eyes. I feel like I'm not making any progress with these. Usually, typically, I do use them a lot, but because my skin has changed a little bit with the weather, it's not attainable right now. So the Tarte Shape Tapes are going to be kind of drawered for now. And then also like staying in my project pan, which you could have guessed would be the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, obviously my favorite. But I love the Maybelline Fit Me. It is so good. And then instead of having these 2 in here, I am actually going to take both of these out. The Wander Beauty Trip for Two, this is going to be taken out. And then we're also taking out the L'Oreal Infallible. I have found that I'm not reaching for these as much. I'm not using them as much right now. And we're going to actually replace both of those because it was a bronzer and a blush. We're going to replace both of them. Oh my goodness. We're going to replace both of them with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is another one that has pan in it, but it came by pan because it broke. But this is actually one of my favorite formulas. I know that I use it on a daily basis. I know that it is like one of my favorite bronzer formulas. And the highlight is also going to stay in the project pan. I really feel like this is just one of my favorite highlight formulas. It's very, very beautiful. Like, it's just so beautiful on the skin. And I actually like using it lately, maybe just even on the lids as just like a little wash of like sparkle and something something. And we'll see like how it's performing as well. Like I said, I found there's a little bit of like texturization in the pan right now. If it starts to get more texturized and looking weird, we may have to pitch this one. I'm also taking out this. This is the lightweight concealer from e.l.f. And like I said, this is like $1 that I spent. I'm actually going to be moving it into more of like my everyday makeup drawer so that I start reaching for it more, but I don't have a goal of like panning it. It's more of just like, let's use it. Let's see where this can go. Some products that are staying are right here. Honestly, this is more attainable to me than all of like, there was like 20 products that I had before. So these are more attainable project pan goals. We have the e.l.f. Shimmer Highlight Powder. We have the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. We have the Maybelline Fit Me. We have the LYS Primer. And we also have the L'Oreal Concealer. I feel like these are a little bit more attainable for me. They are easier for me to work on and pan and finish because it's just, these are products that I love, products that I have used often. So stay tuned for a project pan update with these. They are going to go into my makeup bag. I was just a little overzealous when I started my project pan. I feel like 5 products are a little bit more attainable now that I have them kind of really honed down and I don't have like five bronzers, 5 blushes. Like, my project pan originally was just way too much. So that is what we're going to be working on. We're going to be working on these 5 products. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the original project pan down below. My apologies for not doing a project pan update, but now we're doing one. We are doing one. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying tuned to this video. I hope you guys consider subscribing and I will see you again. Bye.